Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Slaughterhouse 4 German BRAWLDOWN. As always, I am your announcer, Ron Jovi, here with my partner in crime, Buddy Johnson. Buddy, how are you doing tonight here in Egypt, Mississippi?
I'm doing great. I am doing great. And this sold-out crowd here at the Chickasaw County Civic Center is ready for some wrestling action. But, Ron, I got to ask you, do you think they are ready for the hardcore action they are going to see here tonight?
Buddy, I do not know if anyone can be ready. I don't even know if the competitors are ready for these matches tonight. We are going to see some absolute brutal violence here as we kick off the first ever Slaughterhouse Wrestling Hardcore Title Tournament. We have 8 men entering, 1 man will be the Slaughterhouse champion, and we have 2 first-round matches tonight. I could not be more excited for this.
Yeah, I am on the same page as you, Ron, and you know it's great because we're starting out the first match of the night with Tyler Blades versus Maniac in the first round of the Hardcore Title Tournament. Now, what are you thinking about this match?
Well, we haven't seen Tyler Blades since the Slaughterhouse Tag Team Title Tournament way back when. We have had 3 events. The Slaughterhouse world has been shaken up. And personally, as a longtime fan of this wrestling product, I am excited to see him back. And, you know, I got to talk to the Maniac backstage a little bit, sporting a new look coming into this match with some very spiffy jeans. He made sure to tell me that. He also made sure to tell me that he doesn't have any kids. I don't know why exactly. But I am excited to see what the old guard is going to do with the new crew here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yeah, you got that right, Ron. And in the Maniac, you know, he's going to have to be coming back from being the only loss the Birds of War suffered last week. And, you know, hopefully that won't hold him back too bad. Tyler Blades coming back into Slaughterhouse Wrestling, hoping to make a name for himself, remind everyone who he is, because, I don't know if you recall, but he put on some pretty damn good matches early on in Slaughterhouse Wrestling in the initial tournaments.
Oh, how could I forget? He made it to the second round of the Slaughterhouse World Heavyweight Championship, tournament, and made it all the way to the finals of the tag team tournament, and did not even take the pinfall. You know, coming out strong out of that match, but he's taken a leave of absence, taken some time off, maybe to find himself. I'm not quite sure, but he is back with a vengeance and trying his hand for the 3rd time in a title tournament here. It should be great. And, you know, I'm a big fan of hardcore wrestling. We talked about this a little off air. I did a lot of hardcore wrestling at my time in the independent scene. Got a little bit of brain damage to show for it. And tonight I'm excited to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, well, hopefully, Ron, that doesn't show up tonight while we're trying to do some commentary for these great fans out here. But I will tell you, in the second match of the night, Victor Hill versus STO, this is the grudgest of the grudge matches.
Speaking of brain damage, Body, we saw last week the Behold a Dark Horse wrestled Supreme in a 6-man tag match with Nightmare getting hit with a brain buster, I believe, knocking him out cold in the middle of the ring. Supreme taking the victory, and STO, like you said, is out for revenge. What do you make of this one, Body?
Well, you know, you're calling it a wrestling match last week. It seemed like a good old-fashioned beatdown. It was less than 8 minutes, one of the shortest matches of the entire night, had the most men in the ring. So, you know, STO, you know, that was this guy's brother out here, and Victor Hill treated him like he was nothing. I mean, you know, hopefully Nightmare doesn't have any lingering side effects after that. So, you know, you got to think that STO is going to be coming out hot. Like, both of these guys are looking to make an impact, maybe rise up at the rankings. Victor, you know, number 5 in our initial top 5 rankings for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling World Championship. But STO doesn't care about that. He wants to get revenge, and he is going to get it tonight.
No, this is 2 different matches going on in the ring right now. Victor Hill sees this as just another match. You know, he wants to run through the entirety of Behold the Dark Horse. He said that this morning. They are all stepping stones to him to get what he wants, his shot at the title. STO is out for revenge. STO did not make the top 5 ranking, barely didn't make it. You know, if we extended the rankings out, he would be in the top 10 for sure. But he didn't make it, and he does not care. This is all about family. This is all about revenge. And tonight, he is looking to extract his revenge on Victor Hill. And speaking of Nightmare, we are actually going to see him in action in the third match here at Slaughterhouse 4 German BRAWLDOWN, taking on Thomas Noble. Both men not being able to put a W on the board. Thomas Noble being 0-2 in singles matches. Nightmare never having a singles match, but losing his one tag match. And both men tonight are looking to finally get that one in the win column.
Yeah, Ron, I think Thomas is just excited to finally wrestle another human being. You know, he's been wrestling Frank for the last two pay-per-views, the Trash Man, and I don't even know, you know, if you could consider him a man. You know, the Birds of War are one of the most interesting factions I think we have here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And, you know, Thomas has kind of had his back up against the wall both times. I mean, we watched Trash Man pull a scythe out of his unitard. I mean, he's doing moves that, you know, are illegal in probably every other wrestling promotion in the entire world. But Nightmare, you know, Behold a Dark Horse is standing behind him all the way, but you know he's got to be a little ashamed of his, you know, concussion last week. If you want to, you know, didn't really. Your mom's friend Janet, you know, tried to give an accurate reading on what happened, but you know she is just a school nurse that she, you know, is helping us out. But Nightmare, you know, Behold a Dark Horse is known for just destroying everyone and everything that comes their way. So Nightmare really needs to come out strong here tonight to show them, you know, brain damage or not, this man is going to wrestle, and he's going to wrestle well.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Buddy. Nightmare feels like he let down his brother and Black Snow. You know, he's just looking to get some honor back on the good name of Behold a Dark Horse. And Thomas, like you said, he is just going to be excited to wrestle someone who really wants to wrestle him. He is a man of sport. You know, we've heard his accolades run down so many times now that I'm not even sure it's worth mentioning. But, you know, championships in football and UFC. If Nightmare beats him in the ring, clean, 1, 2, 3, that is going to do wonders for Behold a Dark Horse.
Yeah, you got that right, Ron. But into the next match of the night, we have Jabroni versus the Demented One, Orville Neal. And both of these men are coming in, you know, kind of hot right now. You know, Demented One, he's, you know, technically you want to say 2-1. We did talk about this a little before the show. You could even say 2-0-1. And never really lost, got pinned inside the ring in that first initial match. But those two wins were so strong against STO. And then Jabroni, obviously, Birds of War faction member, undefeated so far. Number 4 of our ranked wrestlers right now for the Slaughterhouse World Championship rankings. So, you know, what do you make of this one going into it?
You know, it's kind of a style mismatch. Orville Neal being more brawling, being more outside the ring is his playground, and Jabroni just likes to have fun. You know, I said it last week, I'll say it again. That man loves to dance in the ring, and he loves to put on a show for the fans. They are two completely different sides of the same wrestling coin. And I don't really know what's going to happen, honestly. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be one to watch. But, you know, Orville needs to be watching his back, because Jabroni, while he's ranked number 4, is on a 2-match win streak, like you said. Every single match in the Slaughterhouse he's been in, he's won. And that has to be some pressure on Orville going into this match. So he needs to watch his back. He needs to make sure he is on his A game, because Jabroni could sneak out the victory here. And speaking of win streaks and victories, we have the second match of our hardcore title tournament. We're going to see Frank Reynolds take on Lucifer in a landmine death match. We have not seen Lucifer Velasca in a while, taking the last show off, taking some time to himself after stealing the soul of the Psychotic King, someone we have not seen in a while either. But here, none of that matters. He is going to be in the ring with Frank Reynolds, who has won every single match he's had in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, won them through devious ways, and now will be able to do whatever he wants in the ring with Lucifer. I know not much scares Lucifer. I know he is from hell, literal, actual hell, but I don't think he knows what he's getting into here.
And, you know, Ron, I think Lucifer's got his work cut out for him. You know, Frank, I think easily, if you did a random poll, you know, who is going to be the winner of this hardcore tournament and take home the initial Slaughterhouse hardcore, you know, championship, and it's got to be Frank. I mean, the man screams hardcore. I mean, I can't speak enough about him pulling a unitard out of his scythe. I mean, it's just something we've never seen. I mean, you've been doing, you've been commentating hardcore promotions for years, and I mean, have you seen, anything like that in your years of calling wrestling?
Body Johnson, I have been in hardcore promotions for years. I had to stop because I took too many chair shots to the head and could not medically compete anymore. And let me tell you, all of that time I spent getting hit with light tubes, chairs, being put through flaming tables, you name it, I have never seen someone pull a scythe out of their fucking unitard. Never in my life. I don't know what the ref was doing. I don't know who got paid off where, but I have never seen violence quite like that in a wrestling ring. I just, obviously Frank is a hardcore wrestler. He's been hardcore since day one, but he pulled out. He was ranked number 2 and pulled out to compete in this tournament. You are completely right that he is the favorite to win here. So Lucifer has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, I do not envy him having this first match against Frank. I mean, I'm not trying to talk down Lucifer's accolades. He is a fantastic wrestler in the ring. He's a demon from hell, but at the same time, this is the trash man we're talking about, Ron. But then, in the next match of the night, we have a grudge match between Dank and Dong. This is an interesting one here. We've been watching them wrestle the Gay Space Cowboys for the last few pay-per-views, but it looks like tempers have kind of spoiled over after that loss last week. Dank did lose the match for them, but what's Dong got to be thinking? It seems like some of this anger is boiled over.
Yeah, I got to talk to Dong a little bit, Dong Michaels, before this show. And I asked him, why did he request this match from Commissioner Lewis? On paper, it doesn't make too much sense. But he told me, this is a war between brothers. These guys have wrestled together, traveled together, done everything together. And Dong just kind of got fed up with it. Just like brothers do. You fight, you argue, but you love each other at the end of the day. But in this ring tonight, in this German BRAWLDOWN, they are going to have to prove to each other that they are not the weak link in the Exotic Husbands. That's what all this is about. Just proving who is the better wrestler, who was at fault for those losses, and trying to move past it once they know for sure. And as an only child myself, I guess I don't understand the brother dynamic too well, but I understand why this match was made, and as a wrestling fan, I gotta tell you, really excited to see it.
Yeah, and Ron, I got to tell you, I got 6 brothers myself, so I do understand this, and I cannot wait to see these two men beat the hell out of each other in that ring tonight.
Speaking of beating the hell out of each other, we are going to see our Slaughterhouse champion Walnut in action, teaming with the 2 newest members of the Exotic Husbands, Mandy Hamilton and Lavernius Bimson, taking on the team of the Bankrollers, Big Money Marty, Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi, and Jason Waterfalls. Body Johnson, what do you make of this one?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see Walnut in action with other people around him. I'm not too sure how much Walnut actually understands wrestling. I mean, we've seen his complete misunderstanding of the rules before. I mean, we saw Chairmageddon, a number of pay-per-views ago with him, and but you can't deny the guy has defended his title, multiple times now against, some of the best talent Slaughterhouse Wrestling has, and we're going to see him go up alongside Bimson and Mandy Hamilton, obviously, who have impressed so far in their debut in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Mandy Hamilton putting up the win against Demaniac last week. And Bimson did lose against Vader, but, that was kind of a tough one for him to get from the start. But then on the other side, you have the Bankrollers. These guys are nothing but talk. That's all they do is talk, and write checks. And I think for them, they have got to figure out some way to get any kind of win. So now they're going to team up with every single member that they have active right now in the Bankrollers and to see if they can put together something on paper. But goodness gracious, they're back up against the wall with Walnut on the other side.
Yeah, I got to talk to Big Money Marty a little bit before this match and asked him exactly how this match even came together. The Bankrollers never really winning any matches of note, and the Exotic Husbands running roughshod over the entire Slaughterhouse. You'd think it'd be kind of a mismatch, And he didn't outright tell me they did this, but you get an impression when you talk to somebody. I think some money may have changed hands to make this match happen. Big Money Marty said that they have a big surprise and made sure that they were going to be on the card tonight in a high-profile match to make sure that they have as many eyes on it as possible. He wouldn't tell me anything else. Kind of implied that he paid a lot of money for this. I'm not sure I quite understand the logic here, but that's just the bankroller's way.
Yeah, I mean, they're always writing checks that their ass can't cash. And, I feel like Commissioner Lewis might have taken that check, but putting him in a match against Walnut is almost as bad as, having to fight the Trash Man right now. I mean, they're both just unstoppable forces in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Well, hey, if you pay someone for a match but don't tell them who you want the match against, they kind of have free reign to do whatever they want after that.
You are exactly right there, Ron.
And speaking of champions, we are going to have the championship match as our main event tonight. A match that has been building up since Slaughterhouse 1. We are going to see Supreme, the Slaughterhouse Tag Team Champions, take on the Gay Space Cowboys, Big Daddy D and Fortune Fire Champion. Fortune Fire Champion and Big Daddy D won 2 out of 3 matches in their series against the Exotic Husbands for #1 contendership, and they have decided to cash it in tonight. And, they've had the best matches in Slaughterhouse history, 30-minute classics against the Exotic Husbands, but I don't think they're ready, or I don't know if they know they're ready for a team quite like Supreme.
Yeah, and we've actually saw Supreme defend their tag titles recently against the Bankrollers. They finally got a match, their shot, and they just couldn't close it out against them. And Supreme has kind of proven to be one of the tougher tag teams in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. It is tough, though. We are expecting a lot out of this match, considering Gay Space Cowboys and Exotic Husbands have been putting on clinics in the past few pay-per-views on how to do a tag team match. I mean, every single one of them felt like a title match themselves. So you got to think that Fortune Fire and Big Daddy D are coming in hot, they're coming in ready, and Supreme, they better be coming out just as hot.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Bonnie. I think this might be a match of the year contender, and I haven't even watched it yet. I am that excited to see this match. But folks, that is your card for Slaughterhouse Wrestling 4 German BRAWLDOWN. I'm getting word from the back that Tyler Blades and the Maniac are ready to wrestle, so we're going to kick it on back to Earl Dipshit and start this show. Body, I cannot tell you how good it is to see Tyler Blades back in the Slaughterhouse Wrestling ring.
Oh, I gotta tell you, those red and yellow, that combination is just like, it's just like honey. It's something you love to see whenever you get to see it. And it is nice also to see Maniac kind of change up his style, too. Maybe the denim might help him, the leather jacket might help him out a little bit with that barbed wire over there. I mean, I do not envy these guys being in the ring right now.
Yeah, that's something I respect about a wrestler, and something that I'm a little mad at old Tyler Blades here for not doing. When you're in a hardcore match or you're in a street fight, you gotta kind of dress like it. You know what I mean? You can't come out there in just wrestling gear, because this is more of a war or a fight, just a fucking slobber knocker than a straight up wrestling match. And the Maniac looks like he is dressed for a street fight.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he didn't get the memo, but the Maniac's ready to go, and Tyler, I think he just thought this was going to be like a old school wrestling match. Maybe he got the memo late, as he is greeted by the barbed wire early on in this match.
Black Razor was able to avoid it for a while, dent into those barbed wire ropes, and exploding, ladies and gentlemen. That is the kind of match we are in right now. The barbed wire is rigged to explode, on top of it just being very, very painful. Ooh, taking a second explosion to the back. The Maniac really in control here tonight.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Ron, I'm kind of glad we're up here, at the top of the walkway, because being down there seems kind of dangerous. I don't know how much these fans here in Chickasaw County here in Egypt, Mississippi, I don't know how ready they are for what's about to happen in this ring.
Oh, of course, could not agree with you more there. The Maniac scoring his third point, as it were, on Tyler Blades and getting a big spinning lariat into. He looks like he has done hardcore matches before. I think this is familiar territory for him.
Yeah, it really seems that way. Tyler Blades really hasn't been able to get too much offense going early on. Maniac has gotten him into the barbed wire multiple times. I don't know how he is not covered in blood right now.
And you've got to think the ring rust might be playing a factor here too. To my knowledge, Tyler Blades has not wrestled outside of Slaughterhouse Wrestling since he took his leave of absence, but the Maniac had a match last week. He is in ring shape and he is ready to go.
Yeah, and the Maniac being part of the Birds of War, maybe they kind of sat him down and talked to him and said, you know, you're a Bird of War, you need to come out here and you need to come out hot and you need to show everyone what you're about. And that's what he's done so far against Tyler Blades. And, you know, you're definitely right, a little bit of that ring rust on him.
And Maniac going for the seated sleeper. I've seen standing and seated sleeper variants in this match, on top of all the hardcore action we've seen. The Maniac might be trying to go for some sort of a hybrid style here, which I think is a pretty good strategy in a tournament like this.
Yeah, and it looks like really what he's kind of going for is just beating the hell out of Tyler Blades, and that's what's really going to work in this hardcore title tournament. I expect to see a lot more of this action going on in this tournament over the next few pay-per-views as he takes his first introduction to the barbed wire.
But see, that's the strategy, Body. You wear the jacket. That explosion still has to hurt, don't get me wrong, but it's not on bare skin. I applaud the strategy there from the Maniac. As Black Razor, Tyler Blades, is working over the arm. These two men just giving each other arm wringers over and over again in this hardcore barbed wire match.
Yeah, they are definitely going for each other's, you know, very specific body points. They're trying to take out these joints on each other, looks like, while the Maniac's just going after Tyler Blades' head just over and over.
Ooh, big atomic drop there from Tyler Blades, and then into a seated crossface of his own. Just trying to wear each other down. They know they can't take that much more of these explosions in this barbed wire. They have to wear each other down some other way. You can see there as he gets the seated sleeper once again in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, it's a smart move by Maniac. He really hasn't done too many holds or too many pins yet, but he's just been concentrating on beating the hell out of Tyler.
Running Bulldog from the Maniac after Tyler Blades decided to gloat a little bit about how intelligently he was handling this match and getting another explosion for his trouble. And we are seeing our first blood in the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Hardcore title tournament.
It looks like Maniac playing it smart there, adjusting his belt, just making sure his pants aren't going anywhere. I mean, he's got the advantage. He'll take another hit on the barbed wire, and Tyler Blades is showing, you know, while he was someone that we liked as a wrestler early on, he is just not giving up. His resiliency is showing out there in that ring tonight.
Big headbutt from the Maniac. I've not seen too many wrestling moves from him. He is approaching this like a fight. And the giant uppercut from Tyler Blades. These two men are going at it, Body.
Tyler Blades is going to have to do something here, though. I will say Maniac has done nothing but throw him into the barbed wire. Clearly, he got the memo about what this match is supposed to be, what this tournament is supposed to be, as Blades is just leaving his mark all over the ring.
Oh, that may have been two explosions there. Tyler Blades getting the upper hand here. With a big lariat, trying to follow it up. Cannot connect with the barbed wire that time, but getting a huge scoop slam in. I'm a little worried about the Maniac now. I thought that jacket was going to help him out, but it seems like Tyler Blades is systematically taking him apart.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler, his thing is going to be his resiliency here tonight. He is just not staying down. I mean, he's got blood coming out of his forehead, coming out of his chest, but he's just not letting up. But the Maniac also is not going to let up, beating the hell out of Tyler no matter the resiliency he shows.
The Maniac getting a shoulder tackle in. Oh no, the Black Razor's Edge. So close to the barbed wire, folks. There are no rope breaks in this match. And the Maniac kicks out at 2, showing that fighting spirit that we all know he has.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that from Tyler Blades tonight. You know, that was the first time we've seen Maniac kind of show some of his resiliency as he just gets right back out of Black Razor's Edge again into a critical hit.
It looks like the Maniac is out, Body. Tyler Blades is moving on to the second round of the hardcore title tournament.
Covered in blood and getting the W. This is not something you see very often, but in the hardcore tournament, you're going to see a lot more of this. Maniac, not a drop of blood on him, but taking that second Black Razor's Edge for the KO. And Tyler Blades has reminded us who he is in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
And Body, this may have been an upset. I think we all thought or at least I thought coming into this match, a man like Domaniac, crazy, no kids, nothing to lose, may have had the advantage in such a violent and bloody environment. But Tyler Blades, like you said, once again proves that he is a force in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And Tyler Blades will move on to the second round of this tournament, taking on the winner of Don't Go Jason Waterfalls versus Forged in Fire champion.
So his time is just beginning. Getting Maniac out of the way early on is a good move for him, but having to go up against Jason or Forged in Fire in the next round of the tournament is going to be just as tough. But Tyler Blades really reminded us, the resiliency he has, and his determination to remind everyone who he is and what he can do in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
And speaking of determination, coming up next, we have that STO versus Victor Hill grudge match, seeing a little bit of Behold a Dark Horse versus Supreme. I am excited to see this one. I think STO is going to come out of the gate swinging, and Victor Hill really needs to watch his back here.
Yeah, I hope Victor doesn't think this is just going to be some walk in the park where he can, remind STO what he did to his brother by doing it to him tonight. So we're going to see really what STO is made of as he takes on Victor Hill, and maybe even gets a nice little bump in the rankings after a W like this. And it looks like, yes, we're getting okay. Both of these guys are ready backstage to come on out. And I know we talked about this early on, Ron. Both of these men are just fantastic specimens of just muscle and mass. These guys are probably two of the biggest men I think we have in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Oh, of course. I've been saying this since day one. Slaughterhouse Wrestling is the place to be for heavyweight wrestling right now. Obviously we have some smaller wrestlers, or more flighty wrestlers as they were, but for for all my money, I think this is the best promotion on earth for heavyweight wrestling, super heavyweight wrestling, and like you said, these two are two of the best to do it. I've seen a lot of STO over the course of the last 5-6 shows we've had, and he has impressed me every single time, even in his loss in his body.
Yeah, and there's not going to be 4 other men in the ring to distract, anybody. So STO is going to get to face Victor head on and just remind him who he is.
Victor Hill, though, winning the majority of his matches here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, having success in both singles and tags, being ranked number 5 right now. You got to think that STO, on top of this being a match about family, about revenge, and about doing what's right by his brother, you gotta think he knows if he beats Victor Hill, he might be ranked number 5 instead of him.
Yeah, I think that definitely might play into it, put some emotion, some anger into it, but Victor is just picking up right where he's left off so far in his career, just like coming out, being dominant all over the place, throwing STO like he is nothing.
Getting in his shots where he can, big shots to the body and the back. But STO returning with a huge drop kick, that kind of agility we expect here from super heavyweights in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
And STO going for an early pin here, and Victor's hearing none of that. I feel like Victor's gotten kind of a difficult rap being the third member of Supreme, part of the tag team faction, being the third guy, but he is impressed in every match that they've had so far.
Of course, there was something I wanted to bring up to you too, Buddy. You said the third member. We've been seeing a lot of videos recently of Supreme with some sort of hooded, cloaked, or masked figures. It's hard to make out. Those videos are shot so dark sometimes, but there seems to be more people in their group that we have not seen yet. What do you make of that?
I'm not too sure, honestly. I do not enjoy it. We've been seeing it backstage a lot. Every time they're kind of going around, we're seeing these guys follow them around left and right. They're not saying anything. They're being quiet. They're hooded. I don't like it. I tried to go to the bathroom one time. I passed when I'm standing in a dark hallway just staring at me. I did not enjoy it, Ron.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I've been trying to avoid Supreme as much as possible. I was not able to talk to them before this match. Ooh, big airplane spin from Victor Hill, actually getting the win in our Slaughterhouse heavyweight title tournament, if I'm remembering right, with that move. I do not remember who he got the win on, but I remember being very shocked that he was able to use that move so successfully.
Yeah, and I know we've really enjoyed STO so far in his career here in Slaughterhouse, but Victor is just reminding everyone, like, hey, pay attention to me. I know I'm not at the top of the rankings, but I'm up there, and after this match, I'm going to be even higher. So you are going to pay attention to me as I make my name here.
Ooh, big gut buster there from Victor Hill. We've seen him kind of just beat the hell out of STO in this match. Those clubbing blows, that big slap, that elbow to the chest. That's where Victor Hill thrives, those strikes, and STO needs to be better about countering them. It looks like he's going to get in a backbreaker of his own, starting to get some offense in here 6 minutes into the match, eating almost a stunner-like move for his troubles. And some sort of a Scorpion Deathlock variation, I believe, there from Victor Hill. A little hard to see from our vantage point all the way over here. I don't know if I've seen that move from him before.
Yeah, that's definitely a new one I haven't seen, but I mean, like, I feel like we're going to see a lot of new moves tonight as Victor is just kind of emptying the arsenal against STO.
Oh my god.
And he's done it again. He has completely knocked somebody out. I mean, he came out and he said, I'm going to do to Nightmare what I did, or do to STO what I did to his brother last week, and he came out and he did just that.
Folks, I don't know if you are new to Slaughterhouse Wrestling, if you've been a fan since the old days. We do not normally see this many KOs in one show back-to-back. This is an absolute bloodbath here. An absolute ballet of violence here at Slaughterhouse. Victor Hill picking up the win with one of the biggest power bombs I have ever seen in my days commentating wrestling. I see that Janet is coming to the ring yet again to help out STO. I hope he can, leave this arena without too many wounds, but wow, that was brutal.
Yeah, and Behold a Dark Horse, they need to start picking up some wins. They've suffered some pretty bad losses over the last few pay-per-views. They've been a very, very strong faction since their arrival here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but I'm really not too sure what's kind of going on. I mean, I've seen STO put on some great matches with the demented one, Orville Neal, who we'll be seeing later tonight, but he just got, destroyed by Victor Hill, who is, easily going to be, I think, one of the top contenders for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship.
Oh, of course, to win that decisive, he was already on the board. He is just going to keep moving up the board. We're going to see by the end of the show, once we see the results of Orville Neal and Orville Neal and Jabroni, exactly where he lands. But he's got to be higher than 5 now.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy, did not mean to talk over you.
Oh no, I just was agreeing with you, Ron.
I was going to say, speaking of trying to get a win on the board, though, this is a match between two wrestlers who, thus far, have not been successful in that endeavor. Thomas Noble versus Nightmare from Behold a Dark Horse.
Yeah, and both of these guys coming in, they need to pick up a W. Both of them want it desperately, and Nightmare's going to have to try to make up for what happened last week. Behold a Dark Horse would like to come out of this pay-per-view with any kind of W, but Noble just wants to just show Slaughterhouse Wrestling he can do it on his own. Nobody behind him, nobody in front of him, yes, it looks like both of these guys are ready to go backstage. So let's go see them come on down.
Smart call by both of them agreeing to this match, by the way. If you want to pick up a win against somebody, if you have two guys that want to do that, the best way to do it is just pit them against each other. There has to be a winner here. Provided there's no double count out or anything like that. Someone is going to come out of this with a W in that column.
Yeah, and both of these guys desperately need it. We can't say it more, Noble has come in, and he's looked so damn impressive since he started wrestling here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. You just can't plan for Trash Man. The Trash Man Frank Reynolds came in here like a comet, shot out of a trash can. It's not something you expect, and it's not something you'll think you'll ever see again, but it seems like every week we have been. But Nightmare has been, we need to, this is the first time we're actually going to see him in a singles match. Let's see what he's got here tonight.
Yes, Thomas Noble, great athlete, loves the sport of wrestling. I'm excited to see Nightmare here. I only got to see him in that 6-man tornado tag last week, and truth be told, it was kind of hard to see anything in that match, so I didn't really get a good impression of what it's all about. But here against Thomas Noble, we are going to see exactly what Nightmare can do. Ooh, and Thomas Noble going for the flying knee bar early, trying to find some success with that deadly move. Can't blame him for trying.
And it looks like both of these guys are just going to be attacking each other's heads the entire match. I think Nightmare remembered what happened last week. He took a nice blow to the head, so he's like, maybe I'll just go after his head and just take him out this match, keep the trend of KOs going.
Hey, it's like Wu-Tang said, you got to protect your neck, you know what I mean? Nightmare just got to keep that in the back of his mind right now after suffering a huge brainbuster KO last week. And
yeah, it might be hard to keep a lot in his head, I will say that.
You're right about that, Body. But so far, doing a good job of keeping Thomas Noble grounded with these strikes. Every single one of them taking Thomas off of his feet.
Yeah, and Nightmare is doing nothing. He's reminding me of Maniac from earlier on, just brawling, just punch, attack. Go after the body of Thomas Noble, and that might be the way he can win this one.
Yeah, I've seen shots to the kidneys, the head, the belly. Oh, but Thomas Noble, gorilla pressing him up, showing him that he has the power advantage here after all of those years as a UFC middleweight champion.
Yeah, and those punches, they're looking pretty rough. Both of these guys just relentlessly going after each other's heads.
Nightmare showing that brawling style that I didn't even know he had in him here, but he is matching Thomas Noble blow for blow. We'll be, lucky if we don't see another knockout victory here.
Yeah, it looks like everyone kind of got the memo that this is the German BRAWLDOWN here. They just proceed just to beat the hell out of each other in the first 3 matches tonight.
Hey, that's why we named it German BRAWLDOWN. I think some of the wrestlers may have taken that a little too literally.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Commissioner Lewis might have told everyone before the match, just said, this is the German BRAWLDOWN, and I think some of these guys just heard brawl, and that's what they're going to come out and doing. I mean, at this rate, I would be surprised if this match did not end in KO as well.
Thomas trying to ground Nightmare, though, going for that arm bar as well as the knee bar, but Nightmare saying, no, you will not get that, and shoving his head into the ground. These two guys just putting each other on the mat over and over again with those punishing blows. I am glad that I never had to wrestle anybody like Thomas Noble while I was on the independent circuit, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, and we've also seen this streak continue. Thomas Noble is still yet to hit a spear on someone, as somehow Nightmare, with his body mass, is able to, just slide him right by.
Nightmare doing a good job of just shoving him to the mat. I know I've said that multiple times in multiple ways now, but that is what is impressing me here the most tonight. But to say something about Thomas, he knows he is wrestling a real wrestler here. You can tell in the way he's wrestling. He's more controlled, he's trying more submissions, he's trying more wrestling moves like that butterfly suplex we just saw. And he knows it's working. It can't work against somebody like Frank, but it can work against somebody like Nightmare. And right there, big jackknife suplex. Almost gets him the win. The closest thing we've had to a 3 count all night here, Body.
Yeah, Noble is staying down a lot longer than Nightmare. I will say that Nightmare is taking these blows, but he's getting up pretty quickly after them. So, I mean, what it's really going to take from Noble is constant offense, and that's what he does again with another jackknife powerbomb into a pin.
Second jackknife there. Not getting the 3 count. Nightmare showing crazy resiliency here. Up on his feet, delivering that elbow.
Noble getting winded in the middle of his move there.
I thought he was going to do a move, and I started to say it, but a third jackknife, that has to be it for Nightmare.
You'd think.
Oh my god.
You can't keep the man down. You can't.
No one has kicked out of 3 jackknives. Absolutely nobody. But Nightmare, still on his feet, not even doing that many wrestling moves, just shots and lariats. Going for the pin.
We'll see if he can keep Noble down, but the 3 count. I mean, Dipshit had his. I don't know about that one. That was about as close as it gets. Both of these guys look like they're about, ready for this 3 count.
A rolling knee bar? Was that what that was? That was really cool.
From a reversal, I'm not too sure there. Ron, you've seen a lot more matches than me, but that one was hard for me.
But Noble here going for the strategy. If 3 jackknives can't get the job done, maybe a submission victory. I respect that strategy.
Yeah, and Nightmare is just going to kind of keep doing his thing. Just keep those blows to the chin.
Just punching. God. He's just punching. Yeah, you're going to have to do more than punch Thomas Noble. I'm sorry. I know Thomas has lost all of his matches here, but it took Frank a sickle to keep down Thomas Noble. I don't know if just a lot of shots in the head is going to be able to keep him down with your body.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. And Noble looks like he's kind of catching his second wind as he, kicks out in 2 after both of those pins.
Another knee bar or ankle lock variation. Great finding the leg. It's a little hard to tell from here, but still picking apart that leg. Great strategy by Thomas. Going for a 4th jackknife.
He got that rope though. Looks like he's got the rope right there. So Nightmare still has another shot, but I don't think he can take another jackknife powerbomb here.
Oh, running headbutt to the corner. And a kick to the gut. Nightmare stringing together some much needed offense here. I just wish he would do a wrestling move. Oh my god.
And you got your wish. You got your wish, but it looks like it took more out of him than it did Thomas Noble.
Pump handle slam. Into the corner. And Noble spearing him in the corner.
And finally getting one in. Finally getting one in. As he gets another in.
Spear. Nightmare, big punch guy, couldn't make it work. God bless him though for trying.
Well, he's not giving up.
Elbow to the back. And a choke bomb.
Nope. Right in the ropes though. That's just, and he's gonna go for it again.
Bomb in the corner. Nightmare, you have to pull him out. I'm sorry.
And both of these guys fighting dangerously close. Noble's got the right idea of pulling him away from the ropes, maybe getting another jackknife in here if I had to guess.
Another running power slam, going for a different move. Well, different than the jackknife. What is that, the 3rd spear, 4th spear?
That is the 3rd spear. He has now, gotten more than he's ever.
Oh my god. Big reversal there, both men down. Thomas out on his feet, and Nightmare looking to take advantage with the choke bomb. Almost getting the victory.
If that would have been it, that would have been pretty bad for Noble to take, get that much offense on Nightmare and then take a 3 count like that. I mean, both of these men are just the oddest. The jackknife powerbomb, I think that's it. That's got to be it, Ron.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thomas Noble gets his first victory here in the Slaughterhouse over Nightmare.
Yeah, and he really earned it. Nightmare was not giving up an inch in that match.
Yeah, you have that right. Nightmare, even in a loss here, looked like an absolute star. I am glad that we have wrestlers like him here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And what an incredible match. What a great one for Noble. What a great singles debut for Nightmare. I'm just glad it didn't end in the KO.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm glad we're getting away from that trend, but that was a pretty fantastic match. Once again, proving, but everyone so far thinks it's a brawl. At least one guy's in these matches is just gonna keep taking these punches to the head, these punches to the neck. So you got to think with Jabroni and Orville Neal up next, we'll probably continue to see a good bit of that going forward tonight.
Oh, of course. Stakes is high for this match too, Buddy. We have the number 1 ranked Orville Neal, the Demented One, versus Jabroni, number 4 ranked. Both men looking to either increase their spot, keep their spot, and like I said in our little pre-show, this is a styles clash. This is going to be an interesting match to watch. I'm not sure either of these guys has wrestled someone quite like the other one.
Yeah, and whoever comes out with the W here, it's going to be their 3rd win. Jabroni undefeated, Orville, technically not undefeated, but I'm not going to tell it to his face. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, of course not. But it looks like Earl Dipshit is signaling for this match to start, so we're going to kick it on back to ringside. Orville talked a little bit about Jabroni today, posting a very, very creepy video on Slaughterhouse social media, saying that he doesn't even think Jabroni is going to be able to walk out of the ring tonight.
Well, with tonight being the first round, we have 2 matches from the tournament, as well as these matches so far being just complete brawls. I don't know if your mom's friend Janet has enough in her to kind of keep going. I don't know how much she can take tonight. This is definitely going to be the one night that I know Commissioner Lewis is not going to like to hear this, but she might have to get paid overtime tonight.
Oh, Janet quit.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, Janet quit. She quit after the STO match. I got a text from my mom. She was mad that we weren't paying her enough.
That sounds about right. The bankrollers, maybe they can make that change, maybe try to help out Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but right now, both these guys just got to hope the match doesn't end in a KO because Janet is no longer in the building.
Yeah, we may be able to convince her for another show, but as far as German BRAWLDOWN is concerned, I do not know if we have any medical staff here, which is really a detriment for possibly Jabroni, as we've seen Orville Neal get extremely violent in his matches. Jabroni has to watch out and make sure that he does not fall prey to that same strategy.
Yeah, and early going, I will say this is a very odd sight for the eyes to see these two wrestlers going at it with, Jabroni wearing colors on the brighter side and Orville kind of tending to stick to those darker blacks and reds. So it's just kind of a very interesting mismatch.
It's kind of fun to see two halves of a Hot Topic store fight each other here in Slaughterhouse. You know what I mean, Buddy Johnson?
I completely understand that reference, and it is a very apt.
I just hope Orville Neal did not hear that. We are far away enough from the wrestlers to hear this sellout crowd of 2,500 in Chickasaw County Civic Center to where I do not think he would have, but if he did, I know I would die tonight.
You are correct, especially with Janet not here. And Jabroni kind of, showing everyone why the Birds of War are something to be paid attention to, is he's been kind of, laying some offense on the Demented One here tonight.
Oh, Jabroni hitting a big scoop slam to Orville Neal, getting him on the outside. This is Orville Neal's playground, but as I say that, big back suplex. Jabroni, you cannot pin someone outside of the ring, my man. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure what needs to be, what more we can say about that one, Jabroni. I know you're kind of new to everything. I know the Birds of War kind of do whatever they feel like, but that's not going to get you. That's not going to get you the win here tonight.
But Jabroni looking to, old school wrestling tactics here, just stomping a mud hole on Orville Neal in the corner, using his boot to choke Orville. I hate to say it, but Jabroni might be trying to fight at Orville's level, and I don't know if that's what's going to get him the victory here.
Yeah, I don't know if you really got the memo that Orville is also known as the Demented One. I mean, like we've said, this guy has put on some scary matches. He's done some interesting things in and outside of the ring, obviously, but Jabroni trying to keep it inside the ring as much as he can, as he's going for the early pin here, only getting the 1 count.
Getting a backdrop and trying to go for the pin like that. Orville Neal returning with a gut-wrench suplex. That strength of Orville Neal coming into play again here. Yeah, that's what makes Orville Neal so dangerous. It's that mix of Demented-style offense, though, that violent brawling on the outside. You can see here scraping his head on the ropes, and that strength advantage that he might have over Jabroni here.
Yeah, and maybe not a smart move for Jabroni to be wrestling in the eyewear, but at the same time, Orville is wearing a mask, but Orville has been smart enough to go after, Jabroni's eyes and his face this whole match so far.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more there. Running senton to Jabroni does not keep him down for long, and a jumping headbutt and the stomp to the head, really working the head of Jabroni here. Luckily, he has that bandana and that eyewear that you pointed out to help him out here. Hopefully, that will be a tactical advantage. Scoop slam. Now Orville is on the outside.
And that's the Jabroni we know and love right there. Throws him outside of the ring, takes a moment to, pose for his fans here tonight.
Smart strategy from Jabroni there, too. We saw Orville throw Jabroni out and go out after him immediately. Jabroni opting not to do that because he knows what's going to happen to him on the outside. Or maybe on the inside, as he has the single leg Boston Crab there.
Yeah, interesting for him to kind of start going after the knee when all he's been doing this whole match is going after the head. You expect to see a headlock of some sort, sleeper hold maybe, like what Jabroni is, maybe explaining to Neal right now.
Gut-wrench suplex, that strength advantage coming into play again, and I really agree with you there, but I do understand the strategy again with the Boston Crab. Orville Neal is good about picking his opponents apart. Sometimes he doesn't pick a single body part. He tries to work over everything to be unpredictable. Speaking of working over the head, huge pile driver there from Jabroni to Orville Neal. Does not get the pinfall, but gets very, very close. Orville
almost gets it.
It's like that slip.
Now Orville's going to go for a little roll-up pin of himself, try to take Jabroni out early enough, but Jabroni has plans of his own.
A jawbreaker, signaling for the ocular pat-down, nails it right in the center of Orville Neal, and almost gets a 3 count.
Yeah, I spent some time watching the first few pay-per-views before this one, and it seems like a lot of these matches have been a good bit shorter than what we're normally used to. And Jabroni is trying to make it even shorter here tonight, but he only gets the 2 count on Orville as looks like he's caught his breath some.
Orville going back to that single leg Boston Crab, maybe trying to make something work, thinking the head is not a good option. Scoop slam does not hit the outside. With Jabroni opting to go for the ocular pat down, getting a rope break, still hit it. That damage that has to be accumulating at the sternum of Orville Neal has to really be bothering him at this point.
Yeah, and Jabroni, I think, more than anything, is not really talked about is how well he is at playing the crowd. You know, he is such a crowd pleaser. I don't know if anyone actually sells more merch at our tables out there.
Bigger Nagi from Orville Neal. And yeah, I agree. Jabroni is, to borrow a phrase from wrestlers in the past, over like Rover. He is selling t-shirts, he is selling glasses, he is selling bandanas, and he is, oh my god, Orville Neal reversing the ocular pat down. Jabroni. I wish Jabroni would stop cheating. I really do. I think he would be the best wrestler on planet Earth if he would just stop those sneaky underhanded tactics.
Well, that's asking for a lot from a member of the Birds of War. I mean, he kind of came in already, to be that kind of wrestler, and that's exactly what he's shown us, every single match that we've seen from him so far.
And I was sorry to cut myself off the middle as soon as there, but you are right that he's a crowd-pleasing athlete here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, hitting that ocular pat down and getting the 3-count pin on Orville Neal. Number 4 ranked Jabroni has just pinned number 1 ranked Orville Neal in the middle of the ring. This is impressive with Bonnie Johnson. I cannot believe this happened.
Yeah, this is something I never thought we'd really see. It's about as confusing as it gets, just like the name of Jabroni's finisher here looks like. But, Orville has been someone that's shown time and time again his strength, his resiliency. But Jabroni and these Birds of War, they are just non-stop in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. I don't know what it's going to take them out. Maybe a match with Walnut individually with all 3 of them. I'm not sure. But so far, Jabroni is making a name for him at Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and it's not taking too long to get there.
I really have no idea, but these fans here are stomping and clapping. Don't know if it's coming across in my headset, but I can barely hear myself think right now. These fans are stomp, clapping for Jabroni so loudly. They are so happy that he won, and you know what? I gotta agree with them. Jabroni is here to stay, and that is what he proved tonight.
And I'm hearing from Commissioner Lewis that actually read ocular pat down. I'm not sure if there was just an issue with my translation. I know I've taken a few chair shots to the head, Ron Chovy, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh, I thought I was just seeing Japanese because my brain is so screwed up. Could you see that too? Was that not just me?
It might have been in Japanese. All I know is Commissioner Lewis told us to stop talking about it and start talking about the next match, which could be the bloodiest, roughest match we might ever see here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
You got that right, Bobby Johnson. Frank Reynolds versus Lucifer Velasca. Lucifer taking a show off to recoup after his loss, but he is here to prove that he is a hardcore icon in the second first-round match of our hardcore title tournament. I am a good mix of scared shitless and fucking excited here, Bobby Johnson. How about you?
I'm about in the same boat with you. I will say once again, I'm very glad we are a lot further away from the ring than we normally are. Once again, this match is a landmine death match. You're going to see why they call it that pretty soon here. They've actually pushed this, the fans back about 3 or 4 rows here. I mean, we've been at max capacity, but they are basically body to body here in Egypt, Mississippi at the Chickasaw County Civic Center.
Which is truly a bad idea, and I wish you didn't point that out on commentary, Bobby Johnson, but you know what? We're doing it for the love of the sport. And speaking of the love of the sport, I can see that the competitors are ready, and we are ready to get this match started.
What you think, Ron, with all these landmines being everywhere, do you think Trash Man, you think he's going to be up to his usual tricks out here tonight?
I don't even know if anyone really informed him that this was a landmine match. I think he's going to pull out that sickle either way and go to town on Lucifer Velasca. But here is something that we have not considered yet. Thomas Noble had no mask. He was a man, bald head, maskless, exposed forehead. Lucifer Velasca has this mysterious blue mask that we still have not been able to figure out yet. Could that impede Frank's usual strategy?
You know, you would definitely think so early on. I mean, this is definitely going to be something that Frank won't ignore, but once again, it's kind of hard to talk strategy when it comes to the Trash Man. As he attempts maybe a move he saw Thomas Noble do so many times, he wanted to try it himself, but Lucifer's having none of it. He has definitely studied his opponents here.
Oh, running into the barbed wire almost immediately, not breaking the table though, thank God. Yeah, I you know, kind of a Mega Man style there. Frank might be taking on some of the moves of his adversaries as he defeats them, which I believe could be a smart strategy long term as he learns more about wrestling. Because here's my thing, we've talked about this a little bit. I don't think Frank really understands wrestling.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he really knows what's going on inside of the ring when he's in there. I think they just grease him up and, you know, just say, go on out there and do your thing, and he just kind of goes at it.
Almost a 3 count, 3 minutes into this match. We have not even seen the barbed wire touched that much.
That would have been quite an unexpected turn of events here. I mean, we haven't seen Lucifer wrestle in a very long time, as he's going to go for another pin again and almost gets to 3 again on the Trash Man. What is going on here tonight?
I don't know if Frank is unfocused because of all of this plunder around him or what, but that last right powerbomb almost took him out, and Lucifer is taking advantage of it. Dodging the swinging chop and throwing Frank into that barbed wire again. That's gotta start hurting.
Well, he's going to go for the pin, though. He's going to ignore these landmines. See, still almost gets to 3 once again. I don't know what it's going to take, but Frank's really got to turn this match around here if he wants a chance to advance in this tournament that we kind of consider him the front runner for.
Yeah, we said it in the pre-show. We both thought he was probably going to win this. But Lucifer taking that time off may have been absolutely necessary to secure the victory here. And he gets that tombstone pile driver and almost secures a 3 count. 5 minutes into this match, we have seen 3 near falls going for that pile driver again. Jesus Christ, Frank, what are you doing?
I'm not too sure, but... And kicks out in 2 after that one. Where is this resiliency coming from?
Frank getting stronger by taking more punishment. Lucifer just trying to get that count wherever he can. Frank powering out again, going for the eyes, the only part of his head that is exposed. Getting an elbow to the face for his trouble. Body, I don't even know what to make of this match.
I will say it's definitely not what we expected, but when it comes to Frank the Trash Man Reynolds, the unexpected should be expected.
Couldn't agree with you there more, Body. Lucifer going for what might be his 10th pin of the match. I've lost count. And Frank going for that spinning chop again. I'm sorry for losing my composure. I just can't believe that this is the Frank Reynolds match that we are seeing tonight.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on. I don't know if he joined the Bankrollers or what, but he is kind of going down easy here early on. I mean, all it took was a blow to the shoulder, to the back, it looks like, and it just took, you know, Trash Man down. It just looks like he was not prepared for Lucifer, and there, kicks out before the 1 pin, goes for the spear again, misses. He's replicating what Noble has shown him time and time again.
Scoop, slam, gets a near fall. Frank has to get something on the board here. A snapmare. That's something, Frank. You gotta do something to get the victory here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what can be done with Lucifer putting on an offensive showdown right now, going for the pin again.
Fed into that DDT. It is not going to secure the win for Lucifer. I do not know what to make of this at all. Neither man using the barbed wire on the outside. Frank may be looking to start doing it. Loaded punch straight to the head. Frank just trying to piss him off now. Frank, this is not the time.
I will say it's pretty good strategy finding the only weak point in that helmet. And there's the sight right in the eye, it looks like. Drawing the blood, too.
Cutting through the mask body. He is bleeding. The blood is pouring into his eyes, down his chest, and he pins Frank anyway. Cannot get the victory. Frank pulling out that sight at exactly the right time.
Well, he needs to do it here if he's going to do it anywhere, because if Frank gets going, this match is going to be over for Lucifer. I don't care what kind of offensive showing he's put on tonight.
And Frank using his head to open up that cut just a little more. Great strategy there.
And they're getting dangerously close to that barbed wire over there. And the scythe comes out again, Ron.
Opening that cut. Everything is legal in this match. We can't get mad at Earl Dipshit about this one.
No, there's really not much we can do.
Oh, running into the barbed wire. Lucifer trying to take his shots where he can get them and not able to secure the victory. Sorry, I dropped my pen. I was so excited. The giant swing.
I'm just not sure what it's going to take out the Trash Man, but he is putting... If he gets going, Lucifer is done for. He's done for, Ron.
Oh no, going for the stomach claw yet again. Frank finding success with that move last time. Luckily, Lucifer was able to power out of it before it did any damage to that vulnerable stomach.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to take here, but something's going to change. Something's going to happen soon in this match that's going to decide it.
My God, choke slam from Lucifer Velasco. Will that be it? Ladies and gentlemen, Frank has been conquered by Lucifer Velasco, leader of the Lost Souls.
All I'm going to say is the Trash Man better be glad his soul wasn't on the line, because who knows what the hell could have ended up if we had to see the Trash Man wrestle every single pay-per-view with no soul. Because if he has any soul inside of him, it's the only thing keeping him from putting on a terror show every single time.
I truly agree with you there. Lucifer Velasco will be moving on to round 2 of the Hardcore title tournament, facing the winner of Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi and Lavernius Bimpson next week at Slaughterhouse 5. And he's already got to be preparing for that. If I was Lucifer, I would feel like I have the worst behind me. You know what I mean? You conquered Frank Reynolds. You conquered the top-seeded guy in this whole tournament. The world is your oyster at this point.
Yeah, and I know for us, we've been shut up. We didn't know what to expect out of this tournament. One of the things I thought we could at least count on was Frank going deep into this tournament. I think we both kind of felt like he was an early favorite in here for this title that I feel like was the whole thing was kind of initiated based on his style of fighting, and Lucifer reminded us that it doesn't matter, if there's a belt out there that needs to be taken, if it's a soul that needs to be taken, he's going to take it regardless of what it is.
Oh, of course, and just to add one last thing to this, you said that this was created around the style that Frank was wrestling in. The first ever hardcore match in Slaughterhouse history was Lucifer Velasco versus Psychotic King, which Lucifer won. He has been doing this hardcore style of wrestling since day one. He is here to remind everybody that Frank might be the hot new thing, but he is the guy that started this whole thing.
Yeah, you've got that right. And coming up next, we have the grudge match of grudge matches with Dank and Dong ready to wrestle it out. Maybe get some of this anger and these pent up aggression out on each other so they can continue wrestling going forward. But tonight, we're going to see quite the match, I think, between Dank Poopstain and Dong Michaels.
Oh yeah, this is brother versus brother, you know what I mean? These are two guys that absolutely love each other, but need to sort out their problems in the ring. So I'm expecting some level of respect, but some level of true wrestling acumen out here tonight. I am excited to see this match. We've seen the Exotic Husbands in so many spectacular tag matches, but we have not seen either of these two guys in singles action since Slaughterhouse's first ever tournament. I gotta tell you, I'm excited. I know you're excited. I know these 2,500 people are excited. And it looks like Earl Dipshit's excited too, so let's kick it on back to ringside.
What's interesting, is, Dank Poopstain, Dong Michaels, both members of the Exotic Husbands, who will be wrestling in the next 3-man tag match against the Bankrollers, and then the Gay Space Cowboys, who Dank Poopstain and Dong Michaels have been fighting for the past few pay-per-views, are going to be fighting in the main event for the tag team tournament. So you've got to think, these guys are about as angry as can be at each other. They realize they've lost potential. They realize what they could have accomplished had they maybe, tried a little bit harder. I don't think anybody right now could be taking on Forged and Fire Champion and Big Daddy D, as they are going to make their presence known tonight in the main event. But it looks like Dong and Dank are about ready to go. Both of these guys, it's so weird to see them going at each other, considering they've been, friends for so long. They've been tag partners for so long. So let's see how this match goes here tonight. And, and maybe what becomes of it. Yeah, it looks like Dank is going to start early and try to get some of those early blows in on Dong. But Dong is hearing none of it. And it's interesting to see both of these guys wrestle. They know each other's fighting style, so you got to think both of these guys spent the past few weeks training, trying to put something out there, maybe show some moves, show something that the other guy hasn't seen or doesn't know.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree with you more. This may have been the first time these two have actually trained separately. From what I know about Dong and what I've talked to him about, these two came up at the Independence together. They weren't always teaming together, but they were there. They were riding in the same cars, wrestling on the same shows, celebrating the same wins, bemoaning the same losses. So they know each other inside and out. And I think this time they may have finally separated. And you can see there, that is the kind of familiarness you only get from wrestling somebody else. That counter to the elbow drop that Dong has been so successful with, Dank rolling out of the way, knowing it's coming. That is what you get after spending a lifetime on the independent circuit together.
Yeah, you got that right, Ron. I would expect to see a lot of reversals, a lot of counters, and just plain old knowing what the other guy's gonna do.
For sure. And I said I'd talk to Dong about that. I wanted to get some background from both of them on this match. And I also tried talking to Dank, Poopstain. I don't know why I keep doing that.
Yeah, that's a losing battle from the get-go, and I know, we've talked about it before, don't understand, why you consider doing it. You know what the man smells like, you know what he's about, and yet you continue to keep trying to have a dialogue with him.
I keep thinking it's going to turn out differently. I keep thinking today's the day. Dank Poopstain is going to have a fucking conversation with me, and it never is. I hate him. I hate him so much. I hate that he's good at wrestling. It would be so much easier if he was just like, no pun intended, dog shit. You know what I mean?
No, I completely get it, but Dong is going to try to, turn it right here, but...
We should call the match here. I should stop talking about my hatred of Dank Poopstain.
Well, it's easy to do.
Yeah, Dong stringing together that atomic drop. Dank rolling out of the way, the elbow again. I think that Dong knows that if he hits that move, that might be lights out for Dank.
Yeah, I think they both know that, and I think more than anything, I think Dong kind of wants to show that, I can compete on my own if I need to. I don't need you. I like wrestling with you. I like doing these, these tag matches with you, but you lost it for us last week. You lost our chance to be in the main event here tonight.
Yeah, it's all about that emotion, just that, not really revenge, but just needing to prove a point to your brother. And Dong is doing it here with these rolling neck breakers, comboing it into the drop kick, with Dank on his feet first, surprisingly. And Dong hanging him in that tree of woe. Very successful with that maneuver, kicking him in the gut a few times for good measure.
Yeah, and Dong's going to go right back to what he's been doing for the past few weeks. He has been the offensive mastermind of this tag team group, and he's just going to kind of, lay it all on Dank here and just see if Dank gets the message.
And there we go. That was that big elbow drop. I don't think it was as successful as he thought it might be. Dank already on his feet, stringing together a couple offensive moves here. You gotta wonder if Dong's rethinking his game plan at this point.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be too worried early on if I was him, but I wouldn't really underestimate Dank Poopstain, and I feel like that's what he's been doing. He's been doing a lot of talking. You said, you talked to him backstage, but he can't let Dank turn the tide of this match. He's got to stay on top of him the entire match and just keep it going. Just never let up. And there's the showboating. It's exactly what we expect from Dong.
Going up top again, hitting that pinpoint elbow drop. Absolutely beautiful wrestling maneuver there. I thought he might try to secure the pinfall there, but he knows this is going to be a long game. Oh my god, Earl dipshit out. He is bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what we can do about this. As we've spoken about before, we're not exactly strapped for money here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but, Janet is one of the few people we can pay, and she's not here tonight. We do not have another referee that we can pay.
Earl seems fine. He's already counting Dong off the top. Dong with a beautiful moonsault body press. Oh my god.
The Dong is trying to show something out there, and we are seeing it.
What I was gonna say though is you said you wouldn't be too worried about the early game. That is a great point here. We have seen these two wrestlers, obviously in a tag match, but still, go 30 minutes. We know that they can wrestle for inordinate amount of times. But what we haven't seen is this much flying offense from Dom. You know, I knew about it a little bit from his time on the Independents, working some of the same shows as him. But in Slaughterhouse, he hasn't had that much of a chance to prove it. So it's kind of nice to see that tonight, and it's really working to his advantage.
Yeah, the early goings have had it, kind of swing his way that way. But Dank, like I said, you cannot let Dank Poopstain, turn the tide.
Ooh, Dong taking some time to showboat, just like we always expect him to. And Dank with a big Hurricane Rana, a little showboating of his own, telling Dong that he is not the top dog here. An elbow drop from Dank to Dong, excuse me, so much alliteration here that I'm getting a little tongue-tied.
It's understandable. Like we spoke about earlier, both of us have had multiple concussions, so I think we get a pass on this one.
Oh, I had one today, man.
Well, there you go.
That's how it goes. Flying knee there from Dong, too. Trying to get Dank a little concussion, maybe.
And these men are just going all out. I mean, these guys are showing what endurance means. Hopefully they can keep it going for over 20 minutes. They have been putting on these tag matches. They get a chance to take a breather, but right now it's just these two men in the ring and nothing else except Dong showboating, which will never ever go away.
Dong telling him to suck it and delivering that dropkick right on the chin to Dank Poopstain. These two titans of Slaughterhouse Wrestling are absolutely tearing each other apart, body.
Dong, one thing we really haven't seen since the beginning of the match is a pin, and Dong's going to try to take Dank out right here.
Oh my gosh, almost a 3 count. You're right that we've not seen that many pinfalls in this match. These two men know each other, and they know exactly what is going to put the other one away. And Dong, with a quick roll-up, only a 2 count though. Good strategy, just can't get that slippery poop stain in his hands for too long.
Yeah, that's something that no one really has been able to do that well. The Gay Space Cowboys have managed, but I mean, it hasn't been easy for them.
It took 2 of them, and it took them 30 minutes to do it. I'm not sure that Dong is going to do it by himself. Scoop slam from Dong. And returning with that atomic drop. Dong's dong has to be hurting right about now. This man has gotten hit with so many atomic drops that I am getting worried for his testicular health.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to stop the showboating any, though. I don't think anything's really going to push that away for him. I think that's going to be something he'll do to the day he dies, regardless of his testicular health.
Ooh, reversing that Hurricane Rana into the powerbomb, unsuccessful with the pin, but still a valiant effort. As this is spilling out into the outside. Oh my god, huge crossbody from Dong to Dank Poopstain. Dong with the figure 4 right on the floor, just to make a point to his brother, just to embarrass him a little bit.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He came out here tonight to make a point, more so than anything. And he's going to show him outside of the ring, inside of the ring, wherever it needs to. But Dank's going to remind him of a few things there, looks like, as he goes up on the top rope of his own.
A battle of elbow drops here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling 4 German BRAWLDOWN. And just like our namesake, this is an absolute German BRAWLDOWN body. I have never seen a match like this in my life.
Both of these guys, like I said, the history between them is rich, and when it finally soured, you knew it was going to be this bad. It was going to be this aggressive, this violent. And both of these guys, they're not going to leave a single thing in this ring tonight.
Side Russian leg sweep into a backslide from Dong. A quick wrestling maneuver almost gets the 3 count there. He knows just out-wrestling him, out-maneuvering him might be the key to victory here. And he showboats yet again. That sort of showman style we've come to expect with Dong.
But Dank is not letting up. He is not going to he is not going to go down easy. There's one thing you can say about Poopstain. He does not go down easy.
Oh, of course, these two men aren't actually brothers, but in this kind of dynamic, Dong is the older brother. You know what I mean? He is the dominant one. He is the leader of the Exotic Husbands. And Dank has more to prove here as the scrappy younger brother type, trying to prove his worth to the Exotic Husbands. As he slips out of the elbow drop, he's dazed, and Dong is able to hit a scoop slam and is going to try to get that move over on him and is successful on this attempt.
And Dong is, I mean, he's pulling out the whole arsenal tonight. There's nothing he's not doing out there to thank Boomstain right now, as they both just trade elbows.
Yeah, I've seen moves from Dong I did not know he could physically do. This is incredible. And to say nothing of Dank Boomstain, the real powerhouse of their tag team, just muscling him over, hitting an elbow drop to the back, God, to the small of the spine. That's gotta hurt.
There's something in every single one of those. Almost a 3 count on Dong there by Dank Boomstain, but as I was saying before, that pin, they're telling a story with these elbow drops. Every single time they hit one, both of these guys, it's one of the moves they love doing, and every single time they land one, it feels like they're telling a story.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Body. And we are approaching the 22-minute mark of this match. These two men going absolutely as long as we thought they might. This is an all-out war. This is what Slaughterhouse Wrestling for German BRAWLDOWN is all about, Body Johnson.
Yeah, you were exactly right, Ron. And it looks like Dank is kind of mocking Dong, I think, when he's doing some of this showboating here. I think he's trying to say, you know, we don't need this in our wrestling matches. We can just go out there and show them what we have. We don't need to showboat after every single move.
Big backdrop there, stomping him in the stomach. You have to think this match is finally winding down. And I think Dong disagrees with your analysis there. I think he wants to showboat after every move. This is what he thrives on.
Yeah, it really seems that. And Dong outside of the ring is trying to show Dank once again, telling him a few things. But Dong has now attempted, you know, a lock outside of the ring, a pin outside of the ring, and I'm not too sure if he's just trying to give him a message saying, like, this is what we do inside the ring to win matches.
I think he's just trying to embarrass somebody, just like you would want to prove a point to your brother and maybe mess with him just a little bit, even when the fights are, you know, a little real. It just adds that little bit extra that shows him that he is the dominant man here. He is the older brother. God, another one of those elbow drops. We have seen so many of those in this match. Straight right to the jaw knocks Dong down, and Dank is too winded to get the pin.
Both of these men just giving it every single thing they have to prove a point to the other person, and I don't know who's going to come out on top.
And folks, this match does not have a time limit on it to the best of my knowledge. This could go all night.
I mean, I feel like we could sit here and watch these men wrestle for all eternity for what they have to tell for each other. There's no words they can use to explain how they're feeling. They're letting their fists do the talking here tonight.
Could not agree with you more there, Body. These are two artists painting a painting of violence here on this canvas. Big running shoulder tackle, almost diving shoulder tackle. Dank here. Setting up Dong in the corner, now getting set up and cornering himself. Dong taking another one of those atomic drops. That's gotta hurt even worse when you know it's your best friend, your functional brother just sitting there with you, giving you those shots.
And for the last few minutes here, Dank has completely turned the match around. Like we said earlier, Dong was non-stop offense early on, but Dank is going to turn it around. But Dong is just going to start doing elbow drop to Dank's head right there.
Dank going up again for the elbow drop is successful. Dank hitting most of his on the back of Dong. Oh my God. What did we just see?
Not too sure, but it was amazing. It was glorious.
You saw that too? I thought that was a concussion thing.
I'm not too sure. All I know is your mom's friend Janet isn't here if it is a concussion, so we're just going to have to go with it. But I just, these men leaving nothing out there. Is Dank going to try a super kick. Dong's been showing them to him all night, and he's going to say, hey, I'm learning a few things. You're showing me a lot of things, and I've learned them.
Running bulldog, targeting that head. And another to the small of the back, targeting the back of Dong over and over again. We're approaching the 30-minute mark here. I think one of them has to seal this victory. One of them has to close out this match.
Both men just not even concerned about pinning. I mean, the only place that Dong has tried to pin Dank has been outside of the ring. He's put him in a lock outside of the ring. He's trying to prove a point here with this match. We've hit 30 minutes now, and these men are not letting up one bit.
A pair of twisting neck breakers from Dong, targeting that head and eating a power slam. Would this be it? Almost a 3 count off the running power slam, one of Dank's preferred moves, one of the moves he is best at, that he has honed on the independent circuit for years before coming to Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and he is too worn out to even get the pinfall.
And it looks like I'm hearing back from Commissioner Lewis in the back. Some of our guys are telling us what appears to have happened is they have stolen each other's finishers. It seems like as this match is going on longer and longer, the respect these two men have for each other is clear. They are trying to show each other what they have and show each other that, hey, we are both, strong, fantastic wrestlers, and we can both make it here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but one of them has to walk out of here tonight as the winner.
And I have no idea when that will even happen. Oh my god, figure 4 in the middle of the ring. Dong secures the victory and proves himself to be the better wrestler in the Exotic Husband. That was one of the most incredible matches I have ever seen in my life, buddy.
My entire life, Ron. I could not agree with you more. These men, every single time they're in the ring, they have magic happen. And Dong, was showing something to Dank tonight here in that wrestling arena in front of these 2,500 some odd fans here in Egypt, Mississippi. They're getting their money's worth, and I don't even think they understand what they've been witness to. They're watching history being made as these two men just leave nothing leave nothing in the ring. They literally gave everything they had.
Of course, and even though Dong Michaels was able to prove himself as the dominant wrestler in this tag team, Dank Poopsane is right behind him. I think we all could have underestimated Dank. He had kind of a lackluster showing, no offense Dank, in the first ever Slaughterhouse tournament, and since then has just been known as, Dong's partner. But he has proven himself to be a more than capable wrestler in his own right, and I cannot wait to see where both of these two men go. And folks, my partner is on a special assignment right now, so I will be running down this match for you. In this match, we have another Exotic Husbands team. We're going to see a trio of Walnut, Lavertius Bimpson, and Mandy Hamilton for the first time ever take on the Bankrollers, Big Money Marty, Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi, and Don't Go Jason Waterfalls. Folks, I am excited for this match. We have not seen too much trios action here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but every time we have, it has been violent, it has been exciting, it's been filled with absolutely incredible wrestling action. And tonight we're going to see an established team of the Bankrollers take on the new Exotic Husbands trio of Walnut, Bimpson, and Hamilton. We've seen Walnut in a couple tag matches here and there, but he actually got counted out of the Slaughterhouse Tag Team title tournament because he would not stop hitting Damon Sky with chairs. So we know that is a factor. We know that his absolute anger could be a factor here in this match and something that the Bankrollers can capitalize on. But on the other hand, Bankrollers bought this match. They did not earn this match. This is a match that they wanted to prove some sort of a point. I don't know what, but they said they have a surprise. And I really, really hope to God that Exotic Husbands are ready for that surprise. Speaking of ready, looks like we are ready to kick this match off. I cannot wait to see it.
Hey Rob, thanks for covering for me for a second. I had to run to the back. I got a text from Marty and Ricky. They said they had an assignment for me. I went back there. They gave me $100. Get this, $100 bill to stay back in the back and watch their stuff while the match went on.
Did you take it? Because you're here now.
I did. That is an interesting point, and I took it, and I came up here because that's free money, right? I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to beat me up? These guys haven't won a match in how long now? I don't think they could beat me up if they had all three of them, with my, two of my arms tied behind my back. I don't think they have it in them to beat me up. So I took their money and I came right back on out.
God bless you. You're a little braver than I am, Body Johnson. You know, these guys are not the most winningest team in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but I think I still would be scared to mess with them. They are some muscular gentlemen.
Yeah, they got muscles, but they need to get some W's.
And starting off, we're going to see Walnut and Big Money Marty here. Marty immediately taking Walnut off of his feet, something we have not seen that much of here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. The Bankrollers came into the game plan.
Yeah, it really looks like that early on. I mean, it's going to be about as tough as it gets, though, for, Big Money Marty starting out with Walnut. I mean, Walnut, obviously one of the toughest wrestlers we have here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yes, and a big scoop slam from Walnut, and there we go. There is that dominance that we have seen in every match from our champion so far. What do you make of this trio's team of the husbands right now? We've got Mandy Hamilton, we've got Lavernius Pimpson, and of course Walnut here in the ring. What do you make of them, Body Johnson?
You know, what really can you make of them? I mean, they're, comprised of two people who are a little bit newer to Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Walnut obviously been here since our initial tournament. They've been the title holder since our very, very first Slaughterhouse Wrestling tournament. But, Bimson, Bimson and Hamilton kind of started out pretty strong in their first match here in Slaughterhouse, and Sky's the Limit coming out with the win against Maniac. But Bimson, on the other hand, kind of, took a back seat when he got beaten up by Vader pretty good. So it's going to be interesting to see, what they can do pairing up with a person like Walnut. I don't say man, I don't say woman, I don't say child, I don't say grandfather. He is a Walnut. That is just what he is. It is.
Walnut is an absolute force. I don't even know if categorizing them as a living being would be accurate. We're seeing some tags here. Jason Waterfall's tagging out to Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi, and Walnut tagging out to Mandy Hamilton. Someone we haven't seen too much action from here in Slaughterhouse, but did excite me in their first match.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see Ricky Big Bucks. He's been in a lot of kind of a higher profile matches as far as the Bankrollers go. Obviously, their old team member Chicago Cowboy was up for a title match with Walnut. They had a pretty good grudge thing going, but obviously he has been gone for a while, as Mandy Hamilton's just kind of laid a beat down on Ricky Big Bucks early on.
And Ricky returning with some strikes of his own, trying to create some distance there. Mandy looking like they're not really sure of approaching Ricky here. Ricky assuming that striking stance too. I think I would want to create some distance there. Where Ricky really excels is his striking and grappling. I don't know, you might be able to beat him in like a wrestling match, but I don't know if you get to the striking match with him if you're going to succeed.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best strikers in the Bankrollers, as he'll bring Marty back in. Jason Waterfall's still watching from the side.
Big Money Marty pulling one of the Bankrollers' favorite tactics, a low blow on Mandy Hamilton. But Lavernius Bimson, with that amateur wrestling background, going to be kind of a factor here that I don't know if Marty is totally prepared for.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him. I mean, I think Marty's going to give him a nice introduction to Slaughterhouse Wrestling from one of the league's oldest factions here. Not the winningest, but obviously one of the oldest. This is a nice welcome for Mandy Hamilton and Lavernius Bimson to the league. Obviously, Walnut is very, he's very familiar with the Bankrollers at this point.
Oh, of course. There's a joke going around in the boys in the back that you're not really a Slaughterhouse wrestler until you beat the Bankrollers. And I know the Bankrollers are aware of that. I know they know they're the laughing stock of the locker room. And I just figured that this match they think might be their chance to prove everyone wrong. The big snap suplex there from Lavernius. I don't know. This is there's three wildly different styles here on the husbands team, and I don't know if the Bankrollers really have what it takes to conquer all three styles simultaneously.
Yeah, they've definitely got their work cut out for him. The Bankrollers obviously have a lot of practice working with each other. They have been wrestling, alongside each other for a number of years now. They've been working out alongside each other for a number of, months now leading up to this.
Oh, Jason trying to get the bow and arrow on Lavernius, and now hitting a sidewalk slam on Walnut and getting the bow and arrow on him. I am truly shocked here. This is a vulnerable Walnut that I don't know that we've seen before.
Yeah, this is definitely another side for him. He is a tough nut to crack, but it looks like Jason is going right after him, too.
And Jason, recently made a big deal of the fact that he had been working out of the Big Money Gym, trying to work on his wrestling acumen a little bit, vary up his moveset, his offense, increase his defense, and I think we're seeing it pay off right here.
Yeah, it looks like it early on, but he is definitely going to get a test to that of his fortitude here as Walnut is going to proceed to go after Jason's dome here.
Ooh, big assisted cutter there from the Bankrollers, and Ricky doing a backwards diving elbow drop, a second one for good measure, and Walnut is out. Oh, I spoke too soon. Scoops.
He's never out. He might be down, but he is never out. As long as Walnut is standing in the ring, if he is in the ring, he is never out.
Tagging in Bimson.
Mandy Hamilton, who is going to do the world's worst spine buster onto Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi. Looks like it was pretty effective though, but not able to string together the offense after. Yeah, and Big Bucks is just going to keep going with those body blows, those low body blows, just kind of keep it going, trying to put a little bit of hurt on Mandy Hamilton as they kind of get going.
Mandy with an elbow drop of their own to the small of the pack. I almost want to say shades of dank boob state. That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. Jason will come in pretty quick and kind of help out his brother, as it were, in the Bankrollers.
And now is the legal man.
I was just about to ask. There was a lot of hands being slapped right there.
But the legal members of each team are Big Money Marty and Mandy Hamilton now, as Mandy Hamilton hits that sidewalk slam on Big Money Marty. Marty doing a good job of isolating Mandy in his team's corner though, but not able to string together the offense to take advantage of that. With that spinning back suplex, good move there, tagging out to Lavernius.
Marty's getting worked over a little bit. He's going to have to put some offense on if he wants to keep it up in the ring.
Oh my god, Doomsday device from the Exotic Husbands. Will that be enough to secure the victory? Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi is there to ensure that it does not.
Yeah, not really too much of a rush, but he did get there in time to make a difference.
Arm drag from Lavernius, that amateur background coming in again with those very quick slams.
And I was about to say, it's about time for Marty to put some of those dirty tricks to use as he'll tag back in Jason and see if they can combine for a move here on Bimson.
Oh, Bimson out. And now all hell is broken loose. Earl Dipshit gets some control, gets some order in the ring. Come on.
It looks like Bimson and Ricky Big Bucks are just going to kind of go at it outside of the ring.
Ricky with a big kick to Lavernius' head there as Jason is just stomping on the champion. Marty's still getting worked over by Mandy Hamilton though. I don't know if there's some sort of blood feud going on there that we don't know about. But Mandy is beating Marty like he owes money.
Bimson, he's putting on a pretty good show of offense here. I mean, we've talked about his amateur background in wrestling, and he's definitely showing it so far here, but Jason Waterfalls is hearing none of it.
Lavernius is going to tag back out to Mandy. Jason tagging out to Ricky. These quick tags absolutely crucial here in trios action.
It looks like they're just going to keep tagging in and out and just trade blows, trade some hurt down on each other.
Ooh, DDT right on the top of Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi's head. That looked like it really did some damage to the body.
Yeah, it didn't look like it as Mandy will get the pin on Ricky real quick, but Jason comes in pretty quickly to help out.
Double team suplex of Marty though, putting him down. But Walnut staggered from that kick from Ricky. I have not seen Walnut staggered like that from one move.
And down for a pretty good while on that one too.
Cross body block. The feet rode of the ropes. Mandy was not able to get the pin, but Ricky is hurting here.
Yeah, and it's going to be even tougher now that Walnut has come back in the match as the legal man, the legal thing for the Exotic Husbands here.
Oh no, low blow by Walnut. He doesn't need to use those tactics. We all know it. and almost gets a 3 count off the low blow, bankroller style.
Yeah, I can't really tell who is the who the bad guys, who the good guys are. I mean, it just seems like one of these teams are a bunch of hellraisers, and the other ones are a bunch of you know, check cashers. Honestly.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. I try to be as objective as I can on commentary, but truly there's nobody to root for in this match.
Yeah, if the bankrollers, you know, you got to think, you know, they got to hope they come out with a W here. They got to hope they come out with something. As Jason just watches Ricky get his head bashed in, and then Walnut will show him what it looks like up close and personal.
That laugh. I know you love to hear that laugh, buddy.
He proceeds to slap Jason in his bald head.
Oh, but right to the ear again.
He is just going right at it with those slaps to the head of Jason, and I know he doesn't need to be reminded.
European uppercut into a mousetrap variation there from Jason Waterfalls. I'm sure I'm calling that move the right name, and I might try to catch up with Jason afterwards and figure out exactly what that is. But regardless, those slaps to the head are absolutely crucial for Walnut. A super running slap. Jason showing fighting spirit on his feet, punching down Walnut, stomping him in the gut. I have never seen this in my life, buddy.
Yeah, and Walnut's going to go right back to it, though. He sees Jason's head as a nut he needs to crack, and he's not going to let up until he does. He's going to... There's that damn laugh. And the slap to the head again to Jason Waterfalls, who needs to get the hot tag here, get somebody else in there. He cannot last much longer in this ring. As Walnut's going to tag out, bring in Mandy Hamilton, who's been putting on a pretty good show so far.
Jason able to kick both members of the Husbands down and try to get the pin, even though he is not the legal man. Valiant effort, though, as Marty is deciding to pick apart Mandy Hamilton's legs.
And Marty's going to try to put on a little bit of offensive show himself. You know, he's been in some matches, he's impressed, he's shown a few good things, but I think the bankrollers, they need more than just a showing here. They need the win.
I absolutely agree. And, you know, for my, no pun intended, money here, Big Money Marty is the person in this match that needs the win the most. You know, Ricky is impressed. Jason has put on some of the best matches in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Even losses, you know, like his match against Damon Sky at Slaughterhouse Wrestling 1. But Marty, I hate to say it, just hasn't been that impressive yet. But this match is maybe turning some heads on him.
Yes, him and Bimson will just kind of go at it again, but Marty will kind of show Bimson a few moves that he might not know yet.
Shooting Lavernius off there, getting a short arm lariat. That's the kind of offense that the bankrollers just need to start stringing together however they can here.
We'll tag Ricky, Big Bucks Biloxi back in, and...
Oh! Sorry, did not mean to interrupt you with my Renee Young style exclamation there, but big Northern Lights suplex to Marty. Looks like it hurt.
Both of these guys just trading blows.
Ricky losing the striking exchange there to Lavernius.
Not something you see very often, you know. Ricky is a striker through and through.
But that is where the bankrollers are really gelling as a team. Those pinfalls, I'm not sure they've even got close to a 3 count as long as the bankrollers are able to break up the pin in time.
Yeah, and Ricky Big Bucks is going to need to kind of do something here against Lavernius, as he's just kind of... He's showing them what for right now, but Ricky's going to kind of go over to their corner, and I don't know if taking on Mandy Hamilton is the way to do it.
Yeah, I don't really understand the strategy there. Dumping Ricky out on his dome piece. Walnut with the chair, just stalking Ricky here. As Ricky is able to fight out of it.
But he's got to get back in the ring. He is the legal man. As Walnut will find another chair. Maybe the first one wasn't to his liking.
Oh, Ricky getting hit again. And folks, we are at a 16 count. It does not look like the competitors in this match are too concerned by it.
Ricky will try to go take back on Mandy Hamilton once again, as they just kind of collide into each other.
Both competitors down. Big noggin knocker there. Throwing Mandy out again. This is absolute chaos, buddy.
And the Bankrollers, they came out to show they've got something going on. They got the strikes going. They've got, a little bit going outside the ring. There's a little bit of confusion. People running into each other. These, 6-man tag matches are about as crazy as it gets, as he'll throw Mandy Hamilton outside of the ring again and proceed to kick Benson and Walnut down once again.
Oh my gosh, this is chaos. This is absolute chaos. Mandy with the attitude adjustment onto Ricky, tagging out to Walnut, going up top, coming back down.
This is not what you want here.
Was that just a palm strike to the face? Oh man. Slapping his little dome piece around. That slap has been painful. That might be it. I stand corrected.
Jason got there in time.
Did Marty just hit a cutter? Can Marty do cutters?
It looks like he can. But if you're Ricky, you don't want to be in the ring right now with Walnut as he just gets those slaps to the head going. And there's that pin we've seen so many damn times before, and he gets the 3 count on the Bankrollers.
Folks, the Bankrollers unable again to string together a pinfall victory, submission victory. Still the losingest team here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But man, what a match.
Yeah, you said it right. You said it just... Wait, hey, what the hell are you... No!
What is that? Is that the Chicago Cowboys theme? Body, oh my god, Body is just thrown aside by someone, I can't tell who. I'm gonna try to get a better look here. And folks, yes, that is it. The Chicago Cowboy is here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Oh my god, the Chicago Cowboy is back. Cowboy, why are you back? What do you have to say to the Slaughterhouse fans? What do you have to say to the locker room?
I failed. Not too afraid to admit it. I failed. I lost to the Enigma Walnut. He just beat up my whole team, basically single-handed. I took multiple chair shots in the championship match 4 weeks ago. Sledgehammers to the head. But still, I lost. My fault. I failed the Bankrollers. I failed Big Money Marty. I failed Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi. Hell, I even failed Jason Waterfalls. They got me to the top, and I let them down. Marty doesn't accept failure. Even if he loses, he's still winning. This is how he is. The world title was supposed to be ours. Supposed to be property of the Bankrollers. But lately, the Bankrollers as a whole have been doing nothing but failing. And it's time to end that. Marty called me back. He said, let bygones be bygones and help us get out of the slump that we're in. So saddle up, little ones. The Cowboy's back. We call it all you out. Sky's the limit. You can't hate Bankrollers forever, can you? Damn this guy. And just in case you're too high from blazing 420 to understand what I'm saying, you're still on the Bankrollers radar, and the Cowboy is calling you out. And just so the dipshit referees can't be tampered with, let's have Slaughterhouse Wrestling's first steel cage match. Or are you as afraid as I think you are? Cowboy out.
Oh my god, strong words from the Chicago Cowboy making his return to Slaughterhouse Wrestling. We have not seen the Cowboy since Slaughterhouse 1, taking that loss from Walnut. And Body, are you okay? Are you good, man?
I'm in a lot of pain. I'll say that, Ron. He took back the $100 they paid me before the match to watch their stuff, and he actually took the $5 I brought with me for concession food that I will not be able to afford now. But I'm going to try to soldier on. We got a big match ahead of us. We have pretty big match ahead of us. So I'm going to soldier on. I won't be shit talking the Bankrollers anymore.
And yeah, I understand that. Strong words from the Cowboy to Damon Sky, who we last saw at Slaughterhouse 3, challenging him to Slaughterhouse Wrestling's first ever cage match. And folks, we will see soon if Damon Sky accepts. But we now turn our attention to the main event of German BRAWLDOWN. We are going to see Supreme defend their tag team championships against the Gay Space Cowboys. the winningest team besides Supreme here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. One of the most exciting teams I've ever had the pleasure of commentating. Body, who do you think is going to win this one? Just be real with me for a second.
Honestly, my head's a little lost right now after that punch to the skull that I just got from the Cowboy. But I do have to say the Gay Space Cowboys have put on some amazing matches with the Exotic Husbands recently. But Supreme has, bear with me here with this pun, but they have been supreme since they have held this tag title. I will say, Gay Space Cowboys is probably going to be their toughest title match to date. Even if they keep going, if they defend here today and they have to fight someone else, down the road, this is still going to be the toughest match they probably ever face as the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I do think that Gay Space Cowboys are going to leave as the new champions.
I see your point, but Supreme has been here for so long. They won the tag team tournament, beating 3 other teams to get there. They defended their titles against Big Money Marty and Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi. Against Big Money Marty and Jason Waterfalls, actually. They beat Behold a Dark Horse in 6-man tag action. They have run roughshod over the entire locker room here. And I think they have a solid chance to defend their tag titles at this show. The time will tell. We will see. I am so excited to see this match. Folks, thank you for being here with us tonight at Slaughterhouse 4 German BRAWLDOWN. So much has happened, so much that I can't even believe it. And now we are ready for our main event.
It looks like both tag teams are ready to go. I got to tell you, Ron, we've seen some pretty great main events here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling for these first few pay-per-views. We saw Walnut's wedding. We saw the Chicago Cowboy take on Walnut. We've seen Walnut versus Damon Scott. We've seen some great main events, but I do not think we're going to see anything like this again for a while.
Of course, I don't want to overhype it, but these are 4 of the most athletic, 3 of the most athletic competitors here, and 1 Big Daddy D. These men are going to do everything they can to retain or gain this championship, up to and including beating the absolute shit out of each other.
Yeah, I think we're in for a great showing, and I will say, as a fan of matching tag teams, it is great to see both tag teams having some matching colors out there.
I know, that's something we've kind of harped on before, where we like wrestlers with really matching outfits, and so far that's been a signifier of really good success here in Slaughterhouse. Supreme, even Vint, has been wearing that orange and black getup for so long, and hey, he's one of the better wrestlers here. Maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, it really seems to be that way. But as far as this match is concerned, you've got three big men, and somehow Forged in Fire snuck in here. He almost looks like a cruiserweight standing next to these guys, so I hope he can keep up.
Ooh, and already 1 minute in, big double powerbomb from Gay Space Cowboys there. That is the tandem offense we expect from this team.
Yeah, and Forged in Fire is going to get started just right. Get that early pin in, just remind Supreme that they're here and they mean business.
And Forged in Fire, no offense to him, looking a little slim out here compared to the other 3 men in this competition. Mello is a very athletic big man, but he is still a big man. And Forged in Fire has to be kind of worried about that size differential.
Yeah, and it is something to say that in this match, he is the smaller looking man, because against any other wrestler, I feel like in that locker room, you wouldn't be saying that. But we've got 3 of the most, muscular, the biggest men in Slaughterhouse Wrestling in this match tonight. And Forged in Fire definitely stands out, but I feel like because of it, he's going to be trying to put on a show.
But that is where he succeeds, that athleticism, that putting on a show. But oh my god, Tennessee Jam from Mello. Not sure if I've seen that before. That 450 leg drop. Shades of Scorpio Sky. God, that was impressive. Not able to pinfall though.
And Big Daddy D not too impressed with that pin. I think it feels like they have a lot of trust. You know, these two guys, the Gay Space Cowboys, have a lot of trust in each other. Big Daddy D just watches Forged in Fire get pinned and just kind of stands there because he knows he's going to kick out of it. These guys have a lot of chemistry, and I think if anybody's going to take down Supreme, it's going to be these two guys here tonight.
Big if there, though, Body. Big if. And we're seeing that right now with that combination power bomb cutter combination, and Big Daddy D going for a low blow. Don't love to see it, but I understand why he's doing it.
Big Daddy D lifting up Zeus like he is nothing out there. The muscles on this specimen of a man is just beyond me.
And Zeus immediately tagging out, doesn't want none, but is getting strolling with Big Daddy for his troubles. I believe that is what that move is called. I can't remember which of his amazing slams is called that, but Big Daddy D has an absolute arsenal of body slams.
Yeah, it sure seems to be that way, but Melo's not having any of it as he'll kind of get some offense going back in here for Supreme, but Big Daddy D, it's going to be hard to stop him.
Big Daddy tagging back out. I think, oh my god, big kick to the face as I was saying that. I was going to say, I think we're going to see a lot of Melo and Forged in Fire and a lot of Big Daddy D and Zeus in this match, trying to avoid the styles clash that these teams might have if they mix up those lineups a little bit.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. I mean, kind of a risky tag right there for Big Daddy D as he just kind of tags his partner in right in time for the boot. I mean, it was about as perfect as timing gets.
Yeah.
Supreme showing off this tag team chemistry they've had from working together for so long, but Forged in Fire's not having any of it.
No, Forged in Fire with that flipping drop kick, but getting hit with the jackknife for his troubles. Almost getting kicked out. Big Daddy needing to hustle just a little bit to break up that pin.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Big Daddy D is going to spend too much time exerting himself getting over there. I feel like he thinks, if we're a tag team, it's going to be a tag team. You're gonna watch yourself. I'm going to do my business. You're going to do yours.
Stereo Inziguris from the DJ Space Cowboys. Again, when you're talking about the tag team tandem offense of Supreme, Space Cowboys have had that since day one as well. It's extremely athletic moves. That has been crucial to their success over these advertisements.
Yeah, you have got that right. And Melo's going to get right back at it with Big Daddy D, but Big Daddy D, once again, showing he is the muscle of the group.
God, spiking Melo directly on his head.
And those hits are going to add up as he goes for the early pin, but Zeus is not going to let that happen. As Forged in Fire, just like we said earlier, is just going to watch the pin happen. Going to trust his teammate can get it done, and that's a kind of a risky move. Supreme doesn't waste any time in helping each other out. So you got to hope maybe the egos aren't in play here for Gay Space Cowboys, but, I guess we'll see as the match goes on. But Big Daddy D's been, fighting pretty good when he's out there, but it's 2-on-1. There's not much you can do when it's Supreme.
Oh my god. A Tower of Doom style powerbomb there to Big Daddy D. Big Daddy looking nonplussed, getting a belly-to-belly over Zeus, just powering him over his head after taking that extreme offense.
Fire is going to get his chance to come back out, but at this point, I don't know what he can really do. Zeus has been kind of had his number. Melo's had his number. Fortune Fire's going to have to turn it around, but we have seen him start a little slowly in matches and kind of get hyped up as it's gone on.
For sure. And something we haven't talked about is Forged in Fire is in your Hardcore Championship title tournament. Folks,
It looks like Forged in Fire has been KO'd at the 11th minute. He is not getting up.
one of the more disappointing match finishes we've seen. Just gonna speak off the cuff here, but Supreme showing their dominance yet again over every single tag team here, getting their second KO win in a row over an upcoming tag team. I don't even know what to say.
I don't know what really can be said. I feel like we hyped this up so much, we expected a lot out of this match. I mean, they retained the title, but it just feels sort of hollow. I mean, I feel like if you're the Gay Space Cowboys, you might want another rematch, but I'm not too sure at this point if that's something we can focus on, with Forged in Fire still not moving in the ring.
Yeah, sadly, my mom's friend Janet is not here, so we may have to help Forged in Fire champion out after this show ends. But folks, that is going to wrap it up for German Brawl Down. One of the most eventful shows I think we've ever seen here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and truly some absolutely incredible matches.
Yeah, and personally, you know, Ron, the highlights for me, you know, obviously you have to say Exotic Husbands versus Bankrollers. You know, a 31-minute brawl of heart and soul, both of these teams needing the win. Exotic Husbands really wanted to come out here and show, you know, there's other people, you know, besides, you know, Dank and Dong who could wrestle in a tag team match. But speaking of Dank and Dong, also putting on a 32-minute slobber knocker where just, you know, they didn't leave anything out there tonight. They both gave every single thing that they could, and just, you know, I don't think we'll ever see wrestling in a singles match like that again for a long time.
You know, emotions were running high in that match, tensions were high, and both competitors gave it every single thing they had. Dong came out barely on top. Dank showed, and probably Dank Boopsane's best match ever, if I'm just to say so myself. Dong barely squeaking out the win over his brother and proving that he is the dominant one in Exotic Husbands. He is not the weak link. He won the German Brawl Down. And folks, I am excited to see where Dong goes from here. You know, I've heard rumblings backstage that he was looking to move into more singles competition, and you have to think with a win as decisive as that, he is going to be shooting up those rankings, and we will hopefully see more from him next time.
Yeah, we did have a great start to the hardcore title tournament, too, with our early matches, with Lucifer and Tyler both advancing to the next round. I have to be guessing, you know, at the next pay-per-view, we'll be seeing Jason Waterfalls versus First and Fire, as well as Ricky Big Buck Zaleski taking on Lavernius Benson, who, you know, kind of built a little bit of a grudge match here tonight, starting out with their match, the Exotic Husbands and Bankrollers. They did get a good bit of time wrestling each other. Styles don't match, so it'll be interesting to see how the next round goes.
Of course, and, you know, I was actually in the middle of saying this when Forged and Fire champion got knocked out, but he is in that match next week, and he just fought one of the hardest fought matches in his life. And if, you know, even if the Space Cowboys went 30 minutes and won, he would still be coming into that match hurt. He would be coming into it tired. He would be coming into it not 100%. And now that he has been knocked unconscious, still laying in this ring in front of me, God, I wish Janet was here right now. You know, I don't know how that match is going to go. Jason has not won many matches here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but he may be able to capitalize on this, and that may be his key to moving up that bracket.
And also a big thing, you know, we probably haven't spoken about enough, because I had a concussion the minute it happened, but the Chicago Cowboy returning in the Bankrollers' time of need to kind of turn things around for him. This is huge. Like, this is huge, Ron.
It is absolutely enormous. Chicago Cowboy almost winning the Slaughterhouse title tournament way back when, losing to Walnut in 6 minutes in Slaughterhouse 1 and taking some time off. We didn't know where he was. We're going to try to catch up with him before the next show and hopefully update the Slaughterhouse universe on his whereabouts and what he's been doing for training. But he came back with a vengeance, calling out Damon Sky in Slaughterhouse Wrestling's first ever cage match. And we're going to hopefully hear from Damon Sky next time at Slaughterhouse 5 and see if he accepts that match.
Yeah, and I personally can't wait. I can't wait. I don't know if I'm going to remember this pay-per-view after we leave here tonight. You know, the Chicago Cowboy gave me quite a beat down, but I think all the fans here at the Chickasaw County Civic Center got their money's worth. I mean, I think a few people got blown up by landmines. You know, some got hit with blood on the first few rows, but I think all in all, this is one of the greatest events that's happened in Egypt, Mississippi in a long time, the German Brawl Down.
Oh, could not agree more. And folks, thank you yet again for letting us into your homes, letting us entertain you for a while. We love putting on Slaughterhouse Wrestling for the fans, and we will see you at Slaughterhouse 5.